Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy Keanu, and I'm back again with another video. And this one's gonna get posted. The last one, well, actually, I guess I'll give a brief summary of what the last one was. I'm not posting it. I don't really know why. I just don't feel like posting that one. But essentially, I'm just gonna wait right now. I'm just gonna wait to make a move because I really don't know. And instead of saying I'm either gonna do this or this, or I'm gonna do this or this, or I might do this or this, I'll just let y'all know whenever I've already made a decision and I'm already in the thick of whatever it is I decided to do. So we'll leave it at that right there. The topic of this video, I'm gonna make the topic of this video, losing weight is easy. Yes, you heard me right. Losing weight is easy. And what I'm about to teach you can be translated and learned pretty much in the same structure as anything else you could think of, okay? Yeah, losing weight is easy. Now, when I say easy, I mean easy in concept, but I have a method that'll make it easy in practice, okay? And I'm gonna call it the 1% rule, okay? I'm gonna call it the 1% rule. Now, I'm gonna ask a series of pretty much rhetorical questions, but they're necessary to make my point here, okay? If you said to yourself, I wanna get stronger, what would you do? What would you do? You can answer that in your head, okay? Would you go into the gym, no matter what weight you are or whatever, how much lifting experience you have? Let's say you just say to yourself, I want to get stronger. Would you go into the gym and immediately max rep 500 pounds, 600 pounds? No. Well, why not? Why would you not go in and rep 500 to 600 pounds, 700 pounds even, Go big or go home. Go hard or don't go at all. What's that? It's stupid. Why is it stupid? Oh, it's stupid because it's literally unreasonable to ask. It's unreasonable to ask that of yourself, right? If you say you want to get stronger, that's fine. But to go in and expect you to squat 500 pounds off rip is ludicrous. That's a stupid idea, right? So why is it that when it comes to losing weight, people do crash diets? Or I think crash diets are just as bad as if you've never counted calories. If you've never even counted calories, like let's forget about macronutrients, right? Let's forget about all that. If you've never even counted calories and you go in and you decide I'm gonna track calories, I'm gonna track macronutrients, I'm gonna track micronutrients, I'm gonna track how many steps I do, all in one fucking day, right? Because this is the problem. People make these New Year's resolutions, they make these goals, and then they go, well, I'm gonna go all in. Like, I'm the kind of guy, dude, I go all in, or I'm like not in at all. That's exactly why you are where you're at. Because you have this go harder. I mean, we all suffer from it. I suffer from it, right? Or at least I used to. Now I've grown a little wiser to it, and I'm aware of it when I feel myself doing that. Right? We have this go hard or go home mentality. The problem with the go hard or go home mentality is it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable over a long period of time. Why? Because the dramatic shift in habits, in behavior, it's too much for the body. I'll give you a perfect example of what happens when you do the go hard or go home method. Patty the Batty Pimblett. Patty the Batty is a perfect example of somebody who, now diet is just an aspect of it. Let's say your hygiene is bad and you want to change it. The diet example that I'm using can be translated to anything. Skincare or hygiene, for example, right? You delve into skincare regimens day and night. You're fucking showering twice a day. You're fucking conditioning. You have an after moisturizer for your face, for your hair, for your scalp. Oh, and then you got new lotion. You're upgrading all the shit. And then after a week, you're like, fuck this. Right? it's the same analogy. Why would you go full out in a skincare routine, you know, showering twice? Why would you go all out in this if you haven't even mastered the method of brushing your teeth twice a day? So how do you expect to make this dramatic shift, right? Because people see guys like David Goggins and they go, I want to do that. David Goggins is a very rare example, and I'll tell you something. The difference between David Goggins and the majority of other human beings is David Goggins had a deep emotional motivation, right? He had a very deep emotional motivation, and when you have that, that's where you get the drastic change in behavior, right? I'll give you an example of myself. When I was a freshman, 8th grade freshman, I was deeply emotionally connected to football, and that's how I was able to, you know, the fuck? My fault. Fucking Zins are killing me. Alright. When I was an 8th grade freshman, I had a deep emotional attachment to the idea of making it to the NFL. And so I went all in that, in everything. Lifting, practice. I would practice on the weekends after, 5 days a week being out on the football field. I'd practice on the weekends. Because I had deep emotions tied to this goal. That's the only reason I was able to accomplish that. But for the majority of us, like me, for example, I'm 22, I'm married, and I have 2 kids. There's really no motivation for me to lose weight other than I just want to be fit. But I don't have a deep emotional attachment to that. I don't want to say I don't want it, but I don't want it on a super deep level. But we can achieve the things that we don't want on a super deep level by using the 1% rule, okay? So I'm kind of bouncing around. All right, let me get on track. Okay, so I dropped the skincare example. Let's use the diet, for example. If you've never dieted in your life, right, how do you expect that you're going to be able to track calories, have the discipline to stay in a calorie deficit, track your macronutrients and your micronutrients all in one, all on the first day? Impossible. You can't even get past the craving of having a soda, which, mind you, I'm one of them. I got a soda right here, but I'm going to get into what my plan is. So, my bad. So, okay, Keanu, you're talking about, if you don't have a deep emotional attachment to a goal, it's unlikely that you'll be able to just go all in and succeed, right? I gave you the weight example. You wouldn't just go in and squat 500 fucking pounds. You wouldn't, if you wanted to get better at anything, let's say baseball, why would you go straight into an MLB tryout with no prior practice, no prior experience? Like, it makes zero sense. And it's not that you're not disciplined. No, it's not that you're not disciplined. Discipline comes from building good habits. But here's the thing, right? I want to say his name is Misach Mihayat or something like that. Misach Mihayat's method. So Misach Mihayat came up with the method of the flow state. Now, what is the flow state? Well, the flow state is most humans have experienced this, where you're doing something and time just seems like it's non-existent, right? Time just flies by. Now, why is that? Well, how does that experience come? Where does that come from? How do we get to that experience of time just flying by? Well, it comes from your stress level being managed. Think about anything you've done that's really hard. I can think of a few workouts, for example, where I do them and then I'm like, I never want to fucking do that again. We don't want to be there. Why? Well, if we're at a point where we're thinking we never want to do this shit again, that means the stress level's too high. And that means that, one, it's impossible for that to become a habit because you're not going to want to do it. Like, I can think of workouts that I've done that I'm just so fucking beat up and sore after that I'm like, I don't ever want to touch the gym again. We don't want to get there. But we also don't want to be at a point where we're super bored. So what do we do? And again, I'm going to make this video is going to be titled Dieting is Easy. So how do we approach this from a dieting perspective? Well, I'll keep using myself as an example, okay? So soda for me. Soda is a huge craving that I have. And it hinders me from dieting a lot because soda is man, if you want to pack on calories, drinks, like liquid calories, are like the number one way to do it. The number one fucking way to do it. It spikes your blood sugar, and then on top, because most drinks have fucking tons of sugar in them. So you're spiking your blood sugar, you're releasing dopamine, which then in your mind, it creates the feeling of wanting it again. That's where cravings come from. You get this surge of dopamine whenever you consume anything like that, and then your brain gets attached to it because it's like, okay, I need this source of dopamine, right? We need this to be fucking happy, to be lively. So where's the fucking soda again? Where's the juice? Where are the, or even you could think of food too, like fucking candy, right? Candy, chocolate, all these things. It's like, where is this fucking dopamine at, man? We need to get this, and then you get the craving, right? So, the first thing I'm gonna do, right, is I'm gonna cut out all sugary drinks. Now, you might be thinking that's extreme. No, because here's what we're gonna do. We're not tracking calories. We're not tracking macros. Doesn't matter what we eat, how much we can get fast food, anything. The only fucking caveat is that we cannot drink soda or any sort of sugary drink, all water. Now, you could do diet sodas, but I heard the Trend Twins say this, and I wholeheartedly agree. It really is just like a gateway drug, right? Because it's like, I found myself when I first started dieting, I found myself drinking fucking 2 to 3 diet sodas a day. Now, it's 0 calories. I mean, scientifically, it's actually not, but I mean, for the sake of this argument, it's 0 calories, so it doesn't hurt anything. But guess what? I started doing. Well, I kept drinking the diet soda. You want to know what I ended up doing? I started drinking soda again because I was like, well, fuck this. Again, the 1% rule is one by one attacking each and every bad habit that you have. Okay, fitness is the easiest example to use, right? You wouldn't go in and just squat 500 pounds, like I said. You don't want to have the same approach to a diet. So the first thing, let's use any one of you guys out there for example. Let's say your problem is you're not health conscious, right? You don't really crave soda or sweets like that. But you're just not health conscious. The first thing I would have somebody do that really wants to get in shape and wants to start tracking their shit, wants to lose weight or gain weight, doesn't matter, is I would just tell them, be conscious. No, I'm not gonna go out and have Whataburger. I'm gonna make dinner at home. Doesn't matter how much I eat, if I barely touch it, or if I scarf down the whole thing and I decide I want more, no fucking problem. All we're doing is establishing the habit of being conscious, being health conscious, right? 1% better. So, what my plan is, this is my last soda for a while. What a lot of people, I'm gonna go into my plan, but I just want to establish a few points before I move on and give you the plan, right? A lot of people, like I said, make the mistake of this go hard or go home mentality, and it doesn't have to be like that. It doesn't, right? Dieting, along with anything else, along with any other skill, takes time. Discipline itself is a skill, but you don't build discipline type habits just off the rip. No, that's a skill. That takes time, right? Anything you want to get good at takes time. So we approach that the same exact way as building any other skill would, as you would building any other skill. One day at a time, one step at a time. We're not fucking making leaps and bounds off the first day, the first week, the first 2 weeks. No, we're taking our time in building good habits. And once we do that, it compounds. You built a skill. Let's say you build a skill of not drinking soda. Okay, well, now that we've built that skill, not only do we get better at being disciplined, or not only do we get better at, you know, not drinking sugary drinks, avoiding the temptation, we got more skill when it comes to discipline. That carries on. Now we could fucking tackle 2 habits the next time, right? But even if let's say you try to tackle 2 habits, I can. Okay, bring it back. Just do 1, right? The safest way is to approach it 1 habit at a time. 1% better every day. Trust me, it counts. I'm starting to sound like a broken record. Let me wrap this up, okay? 1% better every day. Take your time in building good habits, because once those habits are established, there's literally like habits are categorized in 1 category. Okay, you could break it up into good and bad habits, but habits are habits, okay? Whether they're good or bad, right? And it took time to develop bad habits, right? It took time. Now, it's a lot easier because most bad habits are built on unconscious behaviors, right? Like, you know, nobody wants to eat a shitty diet, but when you're not conscious of it, those bad habits get built over time. But the same way that we built those bad habits is the same way that we build good ones, right? So, what my plan is, let's get into my plan. I feel like I've made every point, right? 1% at a time, baby steps. Baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. Okay? Take the time to build the good habits. The results will follow. So what my plan is, like I said, I got my last soda right here. After that, for a week, no sugary drinks. Just water. If after a week, I decide, you know what, I'm still kind of getting cravings of sugary drinks, I'm still struggling, I could not imagine myself trying to juggle another habit on top of this, I'm going to do another week of all I'm doing, all I'm tracking, the only habit I'm working on building is not drinking sugary drinks. If after a week I say, you know what, this is fucking easier than I thought, I'm actually starting to get bored. Here's where I'm going to tie in the flow state, okay? We want to make dieting as easy as fucking possible. As easy as possible. But we don't want to get bored. We want to stay right in the middle of, okay, this is kind of hard, but it's not, you know, it's hard, but it's not easy, right? I feel good about doing it. You know how sometimes, like, we do good things, but it just doesn't feel like you accomplish much. That's when you could probably, and you know, and like, okay, me for example, let's say, you know, after week 1, or let's say week 1, I decide, I'm not really over the habit yet. I'm gonna I don't want to juggle 2. Then after 2 weeks, I decide, okay, cool. Or after 2 weeks, I decide, I'm kind of, you know, this is too fucking easy, man. I'm really getting bored of this shit. You need the stimulation. Dopamine, mind you, people don't know how to use dopamine. Dopamine doesn't just come from sugary shit, from stimulating shit, like scrolling on social media, all this kind of high dopamine triggering shit. It doesn't just come from that. We would not be here if we could not get dopamine out of accomplishments and success, okay? We would not be here as human beings today if there was no dopamine, if there was nothing, if we didn't gain anything out of establishing good habits and being successful and crushing our goals, we would not be here today. So trust me, you will reach a point of being satisfied with yourself, feeling proud of yourself. It may not come right away, but it will come eventually. So again, for a week, no sugary drinks. If I decide that, okay, this is really fucking easy, I'm killing this shit. If I decide that, you know, I'm good, I can move on to the next one, then the next step is counting calories. Now, why is the next step counting calories? Well, my goal is to lose weight. I'm not trying to be health conscious. I'm not trying to, I don't have any other goals aside from losing weight. So counting calories for me is important, because if I don't develop the habit of counting calories, then it all goes to shit. Because I can hit my protein goals, I can hit my macronutrient goals all day, but if I exceed my calorie goals, then it's all for nothing. It's all for nothing. Then I'm just getting weight. I'm not getting any closer to my goal. So the calories is the next step. Doesn't matter where I get my calories from. I could go eat fucking fast food. Again, we're avoiding soda, but I could go eat fast food. No fucking problem. Doesn't matter. I just have to be conscious of the calories. And then, once I do that, and that gets easy, I'm telling you, once that gets easy, I'm starting to get bored, boom, you introduce another habit. Okay, now I'm going to track my protein. Oh, man, I'm crushing my fucking protein goals. I'm hitting my calorie goals. I'm under my fucking calorie limit. Okay, yeah, now I'm getting kind of bored of the protein. I need another fucking goal. I need another step in this ladder of success. Okay, boom. Now we introduce tracking fats. And then once that gets easy, boom, now we're tracking carbs. Now the habits are fucking rolling. Now it's getting easy. Now I'm like, okay, bring it the fuck on. Like this is getting really easy. And by then, every bad habit that I've ever had is so far removed that I don't even think about how hard it is anymore. Now it's just routine. It's just a part of me. The same way that eating shitty, eating in a surplus, and drinking sodas and being undisciplined was a habit to me before, now these disciplined habits are starting to become a part of me. And now that they're a part of me, all the bad ones start to get weeded out. They start to get pushed out of my fucking life. So one by one, we're going to slowly work our way towards a calorie deficit. It's easy to get discouraged when you realize that it's not as easy as just having everything down in a week, right? But these things take time, and the quicker and faster you understand that, the easier building better habits will be. You'll stop trying to crucify yourself for not maintaining these habits, and you'll have a lot better of an outlook on what it takes to actually build good habits and be successful. That's all being successful is, really. It's just good habits, you know? And you could even, like, I mean, really, you could have like certain bad habits. Like some people say smoking is a bad habit. Cigars, you know. But if I have fucking 15 other good habits on top of that, I mean, like, it's not even going to be noticeable. Now, bad habits and good habits can be subjective, but for the most part, it's kind of black and white, I would say. As long as it aligns with your goals, it's a good habit. So yeah, title this video, Dieting is Easy, and I'm gonna show you. I'll be the fucking example, okay? And if you're one of those guys out there that's struggling to maintain good habits, you know, it could be anywhere from if you're struggling like me with diet, all the way to if you're struggling with just being disciplined in general. This will help you, right? 1% better at a time, one fucking day at a time. And every so often, I'll evaluate where am I at with my goals. Can I take on more? If the answer is no, then guess what? I'm not taking on more. No, I'm good where I'm at. This is hard enough. I don't want to add any more stress, and it's not easy enough to where I'm bored. This is still a really good challenge. I'm still feeling good about accomplishing these daily goals. Okay, let's keep with it. Then once I get bored, we up the ante. Okay, now I'm gonna fucking now I'm gonna be super health conscious. I need a fucking green and I need some type of green and a fruit with one of my meals throughout the day. And then once that gets easy, you keep building and building and building and building and building. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say, man. Let me be the example. I'm gonna show y'all. It is fucking easier than you think it is. Okay? As long as you maintain, as long as you don't go all fucking gung-ho. And also, don't shortchange yourself. If you're bored with the habit, but you just don't want well, honest self-evaluation is the key, right? You don't want to stick with a goal that you know is stressing you out, because eventually you'll just get burnt out. Your stress level will be too high, and then you're going to collapse. And every good habit that you built is going to fucking crumble. So you don't want to do that, but you also don't want to say, nah, I'm good where I'm at, nah, I'm good where I'm at, nah, I'm good where I'm at, and keep passing up the opportunity to get better, because you'll just be shortchanging yourself. So honest self-evaluation is also another key to this shit. You have to be able to self-evaluate and honestly say to yourself, could I take on more? If the honest answer is no, then it's no. But if in your heart you really feel like, I could probably do more, I could probably take on another challenge, then do it. Or if you take on a challenge, you have to honestly self-evaluate and say, okay, this might be a little too much for me right now. I gotta fucking reel it back. We get caught up